Hi, everyone. Josh Rugger and Blaze Thomas here. I know we're kind of just interrupting everything. It's obviously a very busy morning here. We've got a lot of things going on in studio. We're about to go wall to wall with our weather coverage right now because we've got significant flash flooding that is occurring in Northwest Arkansas. So, Blaze, I'm going to let you take over for the next 50 seconds while I get ready to be on air.
Yeah, we're live. We've got multiple accidents we've been tracking on iDrive Arkansas. One in particular is right around MLK on the interstate. It appears to be this is looking, and if we can take this full for just a second here. This is Mega Doppler. You can see heavy rain is continuing to move through the area. Heavy rain impacting Fayetteville over towards Bentonville, up towards Jasper, Clarksville, River Valley. Not seeing that much heavy rain right now, but that's going to change. But right now we got a flash flood warning. And
Hey, start with weather too.
we put this into motion.
Okay, go to PCR. Go to PCR.
Go to PCR. All right, we're breaking in. We will be right back.
You're watching Fox 24 News at 7.
Well, we've got significant flash flooding that is occurring over portions of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley right now. I'm actually going to pull up Weather One now. Let's go back to Weather One real quick because we got to take a look at the latest Mega Doppler image. Blaze, can you go ahead and click on Mega Doppler there on the side? That way we can get this in motion. But we do have a new flash flood warning that has been issued for portions of Northwest Arkansas. There it is right there. It has that considerable tag attached to it. It does include the Fayetteville area right now. So we're going to have to watch this very closely. That has been outlined because we've had significant rainfall in that particular location that's warranting that considerable tag to be attached to the flash flood warning. So we're going to be watching this very, very closely this morning. Right now, we've also got flash flood warnings in effect for portions of Delaware County as well as portions of western Benton County. So we're watching these trends very closely right now. A lot of things are still evolving at this time. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here on Mega Doppler so we can take a look at that flash flood warning. Again, it does include downtown Fayetteville as well. So you can see the most significant flooding is occurring right now in and around the Fayetteville area, right along Interstate 49, just off to the north of West Fork. So we're going to be watching these trends very, very closely this morning. Of course, we're also watching that flash flood warning that's in effect just off to the north and west of there in portions of Benton County at this time. We're going to take a look at that here on our flood alerts. That way you can see all the flash flood warnings that are currently in effect right now. I know a lot of things are populating on the screen at this time, but there's that flash flood warning with that considerable tag attached to it right now that does include Washington County. Move a little bit farther off to the north and east. There's that flash flood warning that includes portions of Delaware County and western Benton County at this time. So a lot of things still ongoing at this time. We're actually going to go here to live Doppler radar so we can take a closer look at all this heavy rainfall that's still occurring in Northwest Arkansas. Again, there's that flash flood warning I was just talking about. That goes until 9:30 a.m. for Delaware County and portions of western Benton County. We slide a little bit farther to the south. We've got that flash flood warning that's in effect until 10:15 a.m. That includes a southwestern Benton County and then a large part of Washington County. And then we're going to slide a little bit farther to the east here so we can take a look at that considerable flash flood warning. Again, this is actually indicated by the amount of rain that's fallen in this particular location. This goes until 10:30 a.m. This only includes Washington County, but I'm going to show you all these cities that are currently impacted by this flash flood warning. You've got Fayetteville that's included there. We've also got Farmington and Greenland. This is right along Interstate 49 right now. So, Blaze, here's what I want you to do. Blaze Thomas, one of our Weather Authority team members, he's behind the scenes right now. Blaze, I want you to be controlling Mega Doppler. I want you to be keeping an eye on this rain. I also want you to keep an eye on the traffic situation as well, because we also have some very significant accidents that are occurring. So, Blaze is going to do that behind the scenes. You can do that on WeatherTube, Blaze, and we'll come to you in just a few moments. But let's take a look here at some of the rainfall that we've seen over the last several hours, because folks, we've been talking about this for the last several days. We were expecting this to be a pretty significant flooding event. As you can see, most of the rain has actually fallen in Delaware County near the J area. You can see right there a pocket of 6 to 7 inches amounts along Highway 59. A little bit farther to the north and west, just off to the southwest of Grove, we've seen over 8 inches of rain. This is that heavy rain swath that we were talking about yesterday. We expected 1 or 2 locations to experience those training thunderstorms. Yesterday, a lot of the models were indicating that would occur maybe over portions of southwest Missouri towards Eureka Springs, but that heavy rain swath is actually set up right over downtown Fayetteville. So that's why you're seeing that considerable flash flood warning that's in effect, not only because of the amount of rain that's fallen over the last several hours, but also because of the locations that are impacted. This is a major population center. I know a lot of folks are being impacted by this rain at this time, and so that's why we're keeping a close eye on Interstate 49. But Blaze, it looks like you've got some traffic cameras pulled up. I want you to talk about this accident that's occurring right now. We can go to weather too. We can also pull up Blaze right now because Blaze, this is a pretty significant accident that's occurring.
Yeah, we've got an accident right around mile marker 87.4. It's going to be northbound. Lanes impacted is going to be the left shoulder. Here's a live shot right now. This is actually, we've got this in Benton County, and then we've got another accident towards Washington County. And let me zoom out just a little bit. This is going to be right around MLK. It's going to be northbound. The lanes impacted is going to be right mile marker 62.1. So we do have two accidents right now to be reported according to iDrive Arkansas for our area. I'll send things back over to you, Josh.
Yeah, and that accident that you're looking at right now, that Blaze just showed, that one is the most significant accident. You see traffic at nearly a standstill right now in that northbound lane of Interstate 49. That's going to be near Weddington Drive. That's going to be near MLK Drive. That's a major area, major exit where a lot of folks are going to be moving around. Looks like Blaze is moving Mega Doppler right now. And again, Blaze, you're seeing all that heavy rain that's just moving right over Fayetteville. That's why that flash flood warning with that considerable tag was attached to it. That's why you're seeing that blue outline around it. We actually got a report from Dan Scoff earlier this morning that there was some emergency responders on the scene in and around Fayetteville. He was hearing a lot of emergency lights going off as well. So obviously there's some flooding that's starting to occur in Fayetteville. We still don't know the extent of that, but this very heavy rain is going to start ramping up very soon. I want you to kind of zoom out a little bit here on Mega Doppler Blaze. That way we can take maybe a little bit of a closer or wider view of all this rain that's occurring. Again, look at this really very potent heavy rain swath that's moving through Delaware County right now. That's more rain that's going to be pushing towards Washington County over the next several minutes. So this is why we are expecting that flooding potential to continue to ramp up. And Blaze and I were talking about this. We are a little concerned about the potential for significant flooding in and around the Fayetteville area because of those training thunderstorms. Now, the River Valley right now is quiet, but if you live along and south of Interstate 40, just want you to be aware that things are going to be ramping up later on this afternoon in those areas as well. So this is why we're going wall to wall right now, because this flooding could be significant in Fayetteville. It may continue to ramp up as well, and that's why we're not going to let our guard down on this and let you know about the latest details, because I know a lot of folks are heading off to work and school right now. A lot of folks are wondering what's going on, and you know, if the interstates are dealing with issues right now, those side roads are also going to be experiencing some problems. So a lot of things that we're going to be watching very, very closely this morning for sure here in the Weather Lab. There's another look at that considerable flash flood warning that's in effect. Obviously, we're hearing a lot of lightning here in the studio. Actually, our KNWA Fox 24 studio is included in this considerable flash flood warning. So we're seeing a lot of that heavy rain that's occurring outside right now. We can actually go over to our Graduate Hotel WeatherBug Network camera. I'm going to pull that out right now so we can take a look at some of those thunderstorms that occur. And I'm going to step out of the way here so you can see some of those lightning strikes that are going on. Look at all that heavy rain that's occurring in and around Fayetteville right now. Again, this is where some of the heavier swaths of rain have been occurring at this time. We can also take a look at our Mount Sequoia WeatherBug Network camera as well. And feel free, Blaze, to kind of move those cameras as you see fit. If you see something of interest, kind of zoom in on that and make sure we're getting the latest details there. I think we're going to go to Jackie and Ashlyn very soon, and we're going to talk about some things as well. They're obviously watching things behind the scenes, but our own Makala Rodriguez is actually heading out to a water rescue right now. Do you guys know where exactly that's located? School in 9th. Is that in Fayetteville?
Yes.
Okay. So in the Fayetteville area, there's some water rescues that are ongoing right now. Here's actually a live shot from our Makala Rodriguez. She's with our photojournalist, Brett. Right now, they are trying to get to the scene right now. We're going to get to them when they actually get to that flooding that's occurring in Washington County. But again, very heavy rainfall falling right now. The good news is we're not expecting any severe weather potential, so we're not interrupting because we're dealing with severe weather. We're interrupting because we're dealing with significant flash flooding in and around the Fayetteville area. I'm going to go back here to our precipitation totals. We're going to take another look at that in and around Fayetteville. Again, this is a radar estimate, so this is not going to be exact, but as you can see here, a lot of that flash flooding that we're going to be seeing is going to be occurring in and around downtown Fayetteville along Highway 71, State Highway 112, State Highway 180 towards Razorback Stadium. A little bit farther to the west, we've actually got a bullseye of very significant rain southwest of White Rock near West Goose Creek Road. A little bit farther to the north and west near Savoy as well. We've had some very significant rainfall near Robinson Road. That's just outside of the considerable flash flood warning, but I know there's a lot of schools that are involved in this as well. So Goley Park is included in that considerable flash flood warning. A little bit farther to the west, Bryce Davis Park, Washington Regional Medical Center, Razorback Stadium. I know a lot of the students as well in the University of Arkansas trying to get to classes right now. Might be a good idea to wait on that front. If you're a student at the University of Arkansas, I would not be walking out in this weather right now. We've been dealing, obviously, with quite a bit of lightning. That's dangerous. We're also dealing with flooding as well. Some water rescues are going on. I would not be out in these elements right now because of how heavy this rain is in portions of Fayetteville. A little bit farther to the north and west, look at Salem Springs. I mean, we've been dealing with very heavy rainfall in these locations as well. In fact, I would not be surprised if a considerable flash flood warning was issued for portions of western Benton County as well, especially in and around Salem Springs along State Highway 264. You can see almost 8 inches of rain has occurred along State Highway 264, a little bit farther to the north and west towards Colcord. In eastern Delaware County, you can see about 6 to 7 inches of rain there just off to the west of Cherokee City. So obviously a lot of rain still going on right now in Northwest Arkansas. Blaze, I'm actually going to send things over to you right now for another update on traffic. We're still dealing with that significant accident. Are there any updates right now? Is there anything that you're seeing along Interstate 49 that's changed?
Yeah, we've got a new accident now. It's going to be mile marker 86.8 near city's Bentonville. It's going to be southbound, the off ramp. So we technically have 3 accidents now, 2 up towards the Bentonville area, and then 1 towards Fayetteville. If we take a look, this is a live shot right now of the Fayetteville one. So just really, we've got those 3 accidents. So if you're traveling on the interstate, the heavy rain is going to continue. So please make sure you're taking your precautions. Yeah, we're just continuing to watch multiple areas. So 3 accidents right now, but it's very possible there's more, just hasn't been updated yet on the iDrive Arkansas map.
Yeah, and it looks like the Arkansas Department of Transportation, Blaze, they actually control these cameras. I want to keep this shot up right now so we can just take a look at that, because this is our eyes and ears in the field right now. And as you can see, traffic's moving very slowly. We've had several accidents this morning already. We were kind of worried about that too, Blaze, because we were talking about it. We were on during the 5 o'clock show on our sister station, KNWA, talking about the amount of accidents that we're having at 5 a.m. when it wasn't even rush hour. And now we're dealing with the rush hour traffic, and you're seeing obviously some very significant accidents at this time. Are there any other updates on these accidents, or any other cameras that you're seeing right now that are showing anything?
Not really. 2 of these accidents we don't really have much camera view of. There's not seeing.
Yeah, they look a little bit less significant. I'm looking at you behind the scene. They look like they're more like one vehicle accidents.
Yeah, I think our primary accident right now is this one in Fayetteville.
Yeah, in the northbound lane.
Yeah,
as you just mentioned. Yeah, and as you can see, looks like traffic is starting to move at the very least. Earlier, it wasn't moving at all. So that's obviously an improvement right there. So we're going to be watching that very, very closely. I want to go back here to Weather 1. Let's go back to Weather 1 here. Let's pull up live dot the radar again. Very heavy rainfall moving through the Fayetteville area right now. There's that considerable flash flood warning I was just talking about. That does include downtown Fayetteville. I want to also talk about this other flash flood warning that's in effect. I don't want to leave out our viewers that are watching in Springdale, a little bit farther to the south and west towards Westville. Would not be surprised if Westville was added to a flash flood warning very soon there in Adair County. But there's that flash flood warning. It does not have a considerable tag attached to it, but that goes until 10:15 a.m. That does include the West Fork area as well, along Highway 62. We'll go a little bit farther to the east here along Highway 412. You can see some other areas that are included in that flash flood warning near Goshen right now, a little bit farther to the south towards Harris, Elkins, Highway 74. But obviously, the most significant flooding is in that considerable flash flood warning tag, which does include downtown Fayetteville, Greenland, Farmington, White Rock, Baldwin, and a little bit farther to the north towards the Johnson area. So that's our most significant flash flood warning at this time, but we're also dealing with quite a bit of shower and storm activity. I'm actually going to send things over to you guys, Jackie and Ashlyn, because you have an update on that power outage situation as well.
Yes, in Washington County, we're looking at poweroutages.us right now, about 50 goodness, I cannot get my words right. About 1,500 people without power just here in Washington County. Benton County also experiencing some power outages as well. Not as many as we're seeing here in Washington County, though.
Yeah, certainly. And it's something that we'll continue to monitor. And we do want to remind you that we have Michaela Rodriguez out in the field right now. She's monitoring conditions, looking around, searching for any water rescues that might be happening. Oh, you can see a shot there right now of that rushing water. It looks like it's in a ditch, but we know that there is some pooling on the sides of the roads. Certainly many areas that are impacted, especially those low lying areas. So if you are out and about, take it very slow. And if you don't have to be out right now, certainly stay at home. And we'll continue to monitor these conditions. And like I said, we'll, if we see anything else or anything of significance, we can go to. Oh, I'm told that we have Michaela right
Okay.
now. Do we want to go to Michaela? Can
Sure,
we?
yeah.
Can we take her now? Michaela, can you hear us? Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. What are you seeing and experiencing? You had to commute from the station to where you are right now. What can you tell us about the conditions?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is just a downpour of rain currently as we're driving around Washington County. And as you can see right now, there is a severe flooding already building up. We had the National Weather Service send out that emergency alert about the flood warning in our area. And there are people actually actively on the road. We are off to a side street to remain safe, but you can see that water filling up in the ditch over to our left, just with that downpour of rain. And we just want to remind people as they're out commuting right now to make sure that they're not entering into these places where they can't see the water. If you don't need to be on the road, refrain from being out there as that water is going up. If you don't know how deep the water is, it's not safe conditions to ride on cruise control as puddles are building up in the area, and there is that ability to hydroplane as well. And so that's currently what the conditions are, but people are starting their morning commute, so you just want to be wary while you're out if you do have to be out.
Yeah, thanks so much, Michaela. She's saying, there is potential maybe for hydroplaning. You can see from her shot, there was a lot of water even where they were. She said people were actively out there on the roads. Again, Washington County experiencing around 1,500 power outages right now. Also, we're looking at XNA in case you were trying to get out on a flight this morning. There are some delays at XNA as well. So be sure to check on that before you head out there.
Yeah, we'll be monitoring that for you guys and keeping you up to date. And of course, Michaela will continue to be out in the field monitoring conditions elsewhere. But let's go ahead and send things back to Josh Rugger. Now, Josh, what can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we're still watching radar very closely right now, guys. And here's the deal. This is why we are so concerned about that significant flooding potential. Obviously, it's already occurring in around Washington County. You just saw Michaela out there dealing with some of that flooding. And of course, we're getting some reports about some water rescues. Also got a report from a viewer that there's about 3 to 4 inches of moving water along MLK Drive, which obviously is a very significant roadway in and around Fayetteville. But here's why I am concerned right now about this flooding potential, because if we go a little bit farther to the north and east towards southeast Kansas, look at this. We still got more rainfall that's back building right now, and that's allowing all those showers and storms to train over the same areas. And I'm just watching this very closely. Right now, we're dealing with the most significant flooding in Washington County, but eventually this is going to start progressing into the River Valley later on today. So if you live in the River Valley, I know things are quiet right now. I know you may think that you're missing out on the rain, but don't be fooled. This is going to be moving farther to the south, and it may ramp up a little bit more as we go throughout the rest of the morning into the early to mid-afternoon hours. So we're watching this very closely. Obviously, the number one concern right now is that flooding potential. Our number one concern really is that significant flooding that is occurring in Fayetteville. We're trying to get some more reports right now, obviously, from the National Weather Service office. We'll continue to keep you posted on the latest details there. I'm going to go back to a closer view here on a live Doppler radar. I'm going to pull that up so we can take a look at some of the rainfall rates that we're seeing right now in and around Fayetteville. Again, the most significant flooding is in southern Benton and in northern Washington County. Here's another look at that right now here on Doppler radar. Again, looks like rainfall rates may be a little bit lower in Fayetteville right now, which is good news. We'll see if that actually continues, but that's what we're dealing with right now there. If you go a little bit farther to the south here, you can see we've got very heavy rainfall that's occurring in around the Prairie Grove area right now, near Lincoln, along Highway 59 near Westville. Again, I think this is going to be the next area that's included in a flash flood warning. Just looking at some of the latest details, if I actually put that into motion there on Mega Doppler, you can see a lot of that rain moving off to the south and east right now. So I think we're going to see a new flash flood warning issued very soon for southern Washington County. We're probably going to see Adair County included in that as well. We've got more moderate rainfall that's moving towards Siloam Springs. We've also got quite a bit of rain in Benton County. The good news is if you live in Bentonville, Rogers, up towards Bella Vista, there has been quite a bit of rain, but it's not the most significant rain at this time. So obviously we're going to be watching these trends very closely. These things can evolve very quickly, but it looks like lighter rain is occurring in northern Benton County right now. Blaze, I actually want you to kind of move this just a little bit here off to the north. I want to see what's going on here in southwest Missouri as well towards Pineville. Thank you so much for that. There's that moderate rain that's moving right now through Berry and McDonald County. Again, we're going to be watching this very closely. There is another area of heavy rain that's starting to develop right now in northeast Oklahoma that may eventually make its way into Benton County. So stay weather aware if you live in those locations. Let's go a little bit farther to the south and east here, Blaze, so we can take a look at what's going on towards Madison County and in portions of the River Valley as well. See some moderate to heavy rainfall occurring in and around the Huntsville area right now. It looks like maybe Madison County will be included in a flash flood warning very soon as well. And then let's go a little bit farther to the south towards the River Valley too, Blaze, because we've got some scattered showers that are moving along the Interstate 40 corridor. Nothing crazy right now. Quite a bit of lightning that's occurring with these storms. And there is a little bit more juice for these storms in the River Valley later on this afternoon especially. So we'll watch that very closely as it progresses off to the east. Looks like that shower right now is really ramping up near the Ozark area right along Interstate 40. It's going to be moving towards Altus very soon near Mulberry and Alma. So again, constantly evolving situation. We can't let our guard down when it comes to this heavy rain threat. I know this is not severe weather. I know this is not something that we typically, go wall to wall for, but because we have flooding that's occurring, because we've seen so many impacts on the roadways, that's why weather is our number one focus right now. But Blaze, I actually want to send things over to you again. I want to kind of see what's going on with iDrive Arkansas. Just let us know if there are any other new accidents or if there are any other updates on the accidents that are occurring.
Well, so far, no new updates other than there was 3 accidents. Now we're down to 2, but we're still tracking an accident right around mile marker 86.8. And then we've got another accident that is towards MLK right near Fayetteville, specifically the mile marker 62.1. So this is a live shot right here on Razorback Road, that intersection to the interstate. And you can see traffic very, very slowly moving. I would say almost it's basically a standstill. So if you have to travel today, keep in mind that we are seeing, these 2 accidents. Earlier there was 3, so it's good news that one of them has been cleared. Matter of fact, we've got a new accident that's just popped up. We've got one exit 83. It's going to be the nearest city by Rogers. This is going to be northbound. It's going to be on the right shoulder. I'm going to send it back over to you, Josh. We may have a camera. I'm going to switch that.
Yeah.
And I'll pick back up here in a second.
Yeah, I'll go over to you in just a second as well. I just got word from our producers that we've got multiple water rescues that are occurring. That's according to Fayetteville Fire. They're responding to multiple water rescues at this time. And we also have an update from Jackie and Ashland as well on the flooding situation. So I'll go ahead and send things over to you guys as well on the desk.
We're just reading a post from City of Fayetteville. They're saying, of course, the flash warning here in Fayetteville, which we already knew about, the National Weather Service issuing that flash flood warning until 10:30. But they're also saying this is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. Please do not attempt to drive through flooded streets. Fayetteville Fire Department is already responding. Josh mentioned this, to several water rescues. We know around this time, students are getting ready to make their way to classes. There could be some bus delays as well. So please treat this seriously. As you saw from Michaela Shah, there is some flooding out there on the road. So please stay safe. If you have to be out, if you don't, please stay home. Again, from the City of Fayetteville, they're saying this is a dangerous and life-threatening situation.
Taking it very seriously, as they should. Thank you. And we'll send things back to Josh.
Yeah, that was some pretty significant wording right there as well. Very strong wording as well that you normally don't see when it comes to, a typical flash flood warning. That's kind of the wording that we see with flash flood emergencies, which of course is something we have to watch as well. In and around downtown Fayetteville, this is a major population area. When you've got multiple water rescues that are occurring, sometimes that can be a situation where you're dealing with catastrophic flash flooding. So we'll have to watch that very closely. Again, this blue outline that you're seeing here, as Jackie and Ashley were just talking about, that's that considerable flash flood warning. That goes until 10:30 a.m. We're monitoring that very closely. I want to take you through some of the rainfall totals. Again, these are estimates, so you take this with a grain of salt. This is not going to be official on that front. But again, you're seeing right around 5 inches of rain located just off to the south of Fayetteville and north of Greenland along Highway 71. If we go a little bit farther off to the west right now, you're going to see here near White Walk and Wheeler that we've got quite a bit of rain going on there, about 4 to 5 inches of rain in those locations. So definitely dealing with some significant impacts in those areas. Siloam Springs, again, a lot of rain along Highway 412, initially from those showers and storms that moved through earlier this morning. That was kind of the precursor to the heavy rain that we're seeing at this time. So Siloam Springs are reporting about 4 to 6 inches of rain there along State Highway 264. Delaware County have the bulk of the rainfall right now in around the J area. You could see as much as 7, maybe even 8 inches of rain in some spots there along Highway 59. And of course, a little bit farther to the north and west, you could see that we've had rainfall totals up to 9 inches in portions of western Delaware County. So definitely a lot of rainfall. You can see where that heaviest rain swath is setting up right now, extending all the way from southeast Kansas, where that considerable flash flood warning remains in effect, all the way down into the Fayetteville area. So if this trend kind of remains, if we're looking a little bit later down the line, if you live near the St. Paul area, southern Madison County, you may need to get prepared for some flash flooding as that swath of heavier rain starts to move off to the south and east. If we go a little bit farther to the south, you can see near Newton County as well, we might be dealing with some very heavy rainfall. Lesser rainfall totals along the Interstate 40 corridor, but as I've been stressing all morning long, we are going to be dealing with quite a bit of heavy rainfall in the River Valley later on this afternoon into the evening hours. So let's go back to some of our WeatherBug Network cameras. Just kind of want to assess the situation that we have going on here. Here's our Graduate Hotel camera. This is overlooking Dixon Street in Fayetteville. Obviously, some flashes of lightning right now. We just talked to Jackie and Ashland about the power outage situation. A little over 1,200 people without power in Washington County right now. We can also pull up another camera. Let's go to Mount Sequoia right now. Here's a look at that. Very heavy rainfall occurring there, obviously, as you get to where you're going. I also want to pull up some iDrive Arkansas cameras here. We'll pull that up in just a few moments. Just kind of want to take a look at what's going on the interstates and highways. Let's see here. Waldron camera is down right now. We don't even need to go to that one. Let's go to the Bentonville Square. Rainfall a little bit lighter in Benton County right now, so that's the good news, but I wouldn't let your guard down. We've been dealing with rain all morning long. Sometimes that can cause some localized flooding. So I know Bentonville, Rogers, not under a flash flood warning at this time, but got to make sure we're staying weather aware on that front. Here's another look at that Decatur WeatherBug Network camera. This was quite the lightning show earlier this morning. Again, you can see a lot of that ponding going on the roadways right now. That's why you need to take it very easy as you're heading off to work and school this morning, because that hydroplaning can definitely be enhanced by some of this rainfall that we're dealing with at this time. We're going to go back to Mega Doppler here. I want to take a look at that iDrive Arkansas camera. So this one looks like it is near Interstate 49. Blaze, I actually want you to let me know which particular camera is this one that we're looking at here.
83 nearest city towards Rogers. This is a new accident that's just occurred. It's going to be northbound on the right shoulder. So this is a new accident. So we've got 3 accidents right now that we're currently tracking. One that's to the west of Little Flock. That's going to be marker 86.8 on the interstate. And then we got that new accident that's exit 83. And then one more still following this one that's going to be mile marker 62.1 in Fayetteville. It's going to be northbound right shoulder. So any travel to Fayetteville and north, just be mindful there is 3 accidents that we are tracking.
Yeah, and I want to keep this camera up as well real quick because, I mean, look at all that ponding that's going on there on the roadways. I mean, we talked about this all morning long. This is what's causing the issues, right? You hit that too fast, you can spiral out of control. You can also involve other vehicles when it comes to that accident. So got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy. As Blaze just mentioned, this is that brand new accident in the northbound lane near mile marker 83. So this is going to be near that Walton Boulevard area. This has been a problem spot all morning long. We've seen multiple accidents near Walton Boulevard, near Pinnacle Parkway, near Whitaker Parkway. So got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy there. Looks like that right lane is actually almost at a standstill at this time there. But look at all that heavy rain that's still occurring right now. You can see those occasional flashes of lightning as well on Mega Doppler. Let's go back here. I wanted to pull up another satellite and radar loop just to kind of reset here and see what's going on area wide. Don't want to neglect any locations. Obviously don't want to neglect our viewers that are watching a little bit farther east of I-49 because Madison County is dealing with very heavy rainfall. I mentioned this just a few moments ago. If you live near the St. Paul area, I would anticipate some flash flooding potential very soon. You can see that string of flash flood warnings that's been issued this morning just off to the north and west of Madison County. This is probably where that next flash flood warning will be issued if they do decide to pull a plug on that. So we're going to be watching that very closely there. We've also got some moderate rainfall that's occurring in and around Huntsville along Highway 412. And then we've also got some moderate rain that's occurring in Newton County. Now in the River Valley again, we got a lot of viewers that are watching in the River Valley wondering what's going on there. We do have some scattered showers that are still developing right now in Fort Smith. Obviously, we've got some more activity that's also developing along the Interstate 40 corridor east of Eufaula, but nothing major right now, and that was expected. We're not expecting those impacts to really start pushing into the River Valley until later on this afternoon into the evening hours. So don't let your guard down if you live in the River Valley. Now, right now, it's 7:55. We're getting close to 8 o'clock. We're going to stay on here doing wall-to-wall coverage until about 8 o'clock. From there, we are going to move to coverage online. So we're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be on X. We're also going to be live streaming on KNWA.com as well as Fox24News.tv. You can also look that up on NWAHomepage.com. You just go to the tab that has live stream. You click on that. You can watch us. We're going to continue our coverage from there. If we do have a flash flood emergency that's issued for Fayetteville, let's say this rain continues to fall in and around Fayetteville, we will go back to wall-to-wall coverage. We will go to live coverage again. What we're doing right now is because we're in our normal broadcast on Fox 24, we're giving you this update right now. We're focusing on this weather and giving you all those latest details. But the last I heard is that we've got multiple water rescues that are occurring in and around Fayetteville right now. That was from the Fayetteville Fire Department. That was about 5 to 10 minutes ago. We're going to be watching that very closely again. We're going to take one last kind of look through at some of these flash flood warnings that are in effect. Blaze, make sure you got some cameras pulled up as well on weather 2, weather 3. That way we can kind of look at some of those cameras. And I just want to get one more update from you. But we're gonna take one last look at these flash flood warnings real quick, and then we're gonna go out to Michaela Rodriguez. There's that flash flood warning with the considerable tag attached to it. That goes until 10:30. Again, that does include downtown Fayetteville, Greenland, a little bit farther to the west towards Farmington. We've got another flash flood warning that does not have a considerable tag attached to it. That goes until 10:15 a.m. That does include southern Benton County and portions of Washington County. That includes the Springdale area. And then one last flash flood warning that's in effect until 9:30 a.m. That includes Delaware County, far northern Adair County, and western Benton County. But I just got word from our producers that we've got another shot from Michaela Rodriguez. So, Michaela, I'm going to send things over to you right now. Do you have any updates for us out in the field?
Yep. So right now what we have currently is transportation just let us know that the water is too deep in this area. We are right off of MLK and there are multiple vehicles stuck in the water. They have the roads blocked off over here on 15th and Dunn Avenue. And so they are waiting on getting those vehicles out, but they are in fact stuck. And we're seeing they're reported on Bear Street as well, that there is similar, if not worse, circumstances. This is what you want to be aware of as you are out today with that water too deep. And these vehicles are now getting stuck out here with that flash flood coming up. And so that's all the reports that we have currently. But they say there are multiple ones coming up around that they are responding to actively.
All right, thank you so much, Michaela, for that update. Very valuable to see that out in the field. Blaze, I want to send things over to you real quick. We want to take one last look at that accident situation, so give us the latest details there.
We got a new accident right now. It's going to be exit 73. Nearest city is Springdale, so that's a new accident. So we got 4 right now. Looks like the one that is impacting the most is probably this one at Fayetteville, which is mile marker 62.1. We got a couple cameras of the Rogers wreck. You can see over towards Rogers and look at a little bit further. This is kind of a zoomed in shot, and you can see multiple vehicles on the shoulder of the highway. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Blaze, for that update. And again, we're going to be wrapping up wall-to-wall coverage here on TV. But as I just mentioned, we're going to have more coverage coming up on Facebook, on X. You can also go to KNWA.com, Fox 24 News TV, as well as NWAHomepage.com for all the latest updates. Again, we've got that considerable flash flood warning that's in effect. If this does get upgraded to a flash flood emergency, we will go back live on air. We'll give you all the latest details. Folks, make sure you're staying safe this morning. Make sure you're giving yourself plenty of extra time to get to where you're going so you can make it on time and safely. And I cannot stress this enough. If you do encounter flooded roadways, turn around, don't drown. We don't want to see anybody impacted by those flood waters today. Thank you so much for trusting your Weather Authority team. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on Fox 24 News at 7. I don't know. know why he's so angsty to say that. You know, I don't know why that's muted. So definitely a busy morning.
It was
That is for
very-
sure. It's still busy right now. We're not going to be on air anymore. That's why we're sending everybody over here to our live stream because, it'd be kind of redundant if we stayed on air. The reason why we're
Right.
doing wall to wall on air was because we were already in the show. We just focused on weather for the last 30 minutes. If that does get upgraded to a flash flood emergency, Blaze, we are going to go wall to wall again. We'll
We
go back on TV. But we just wanted to give everybody the latest information there. Hope everybody's staying safe this morning. Obviously, when it comes to flooding, it's kind of an evolving situation and everything. So just continue to be patient with us. How about road closures, said Steven. I haven't seen any reports of road closures.
No.
Actually, Blaze, what I want you to do, and I'm going to pull up Weather One here. So behind the scenes, I want you to kind of keep an eye on those iDrive Arkansas cameras.
Okay.
That way, if we've got more cameras to show, more accidents to show, we'll do that. But while Blaze is doing that, I wanted to take you through all those flood alerts that are currently ongoing at this time. Kind of wanted to give you an update on what we're dealing with out there across Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Now, River Valley right now not dealing with a whole lot of shower and storm potential. All of this is really more so in Northwest Arkansas, but there's a lot of warnings that are in effect right now. We got a lot of things going on at this time, obviously across Northwest Arkansas. And Blaze, as we talked about yesterday, and I was really stressing this, a lot of what's going on right now, a lot of this flooding that we're seeing is actually occurring because these storms are training over the same areas.
Right. They're not moving
Yeah.
and they're just there.
Well, they're so yeah, and I mean they're actually moving pretty fast. I mean,
That's
if we
true.
put this in motion, they're moving really fast. The problem is that you've got more storms that are developing behind those,
Right.
and that's what's causing our issues right now on those interstates and highways. So when you get that kind of training of thunderstorms, right, where they start moving over the same areas, like we talk about, that's when you start getting those problems. So that's why we've got that flash flood warning with a considerable tag attached to it for portions of Washington County. That includes Fayetteville, and then another flash flood warning that's in effect for southern Benton County, a large part of Washington County, including Springdale, West Fork, and that goes until 10:15 a.m. We have another flash flood warning that I wanted to mention real quick. That includes Delaware County 2. That includes Jay, Grove, Colcord, Salem Springs, and that goes until 9:30 a.m. So a lot of things going on at this time. Now that computer that you're on, Blaze, is not going to show up on
Okay.
here. Yes, just
But I've got it pulled up. So if we can
Yes.
take weather, if you can pull up weather 2 on OBS.
yeah. Okay, there you go. And what
Yeah.
what are we looking at here?
We are looking at a new accident. This is going to be exit 73 near Springdale. This is going to be southbound right shoulder on ramp. Right before we ended wall-to-wall coverage, I told you about this accident, and we've got a live shot of it now from our RDOT. You can see it looks like some emergency lights off in the distance.
Got a lot of emergency vehicles right now. on the scene. I mean, we've had, I would say, double-digit accidents this
Oh,
morning.
yeah.
I mean, we've been having
It's-
accidents since 5 a.m.
Yeah. It started out, like he was saying, 5 a.m.
Mhm.
It's been a busy morning.
Very busy morning for sure. I didn't see this comment until now, but presumed hostile said that avoid 54th Street. It's flooded really badly. So thank you so much, hostile, for that report. Looks like we got Dan on the live stream. Hope everybody is safe this morning. Roads are in horrible shape right now. Pouring in Greenwood. Now it's starting to clear out. So Greenwood, yep, that's in the River Valley, and of course that there was a little brief shower that moved through the River Valley just a few moments ago, and you can see that right there. But there's more rain coming, and it's already starting to build into the River Valley too, Jess. So we're gonna have to watch that very closely there. Let's see here. Yeah, we did need the rain. That's for sure, Mandy.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. We did need the rain. I just wish it didn't all come at one time like this. It always seems to
That's
do that
true.
this time of year.
I've got good news. We had 4 accidents. Now we're only down to 3. The one that was MLK near Fayetteville, that accident has been cleared, and according to looking at the cameras, traffic is flowing well. So
Sweet.
that's good news. But still, more heavy rain continues. So just be careful if you have to travel this morning.
Yep. It's good. It's good right there. And again, you know, the problem is that Blaze, it's really hard to give advice about driving this morning because I know folks got to get to work. I know folks got to get to school. You know, I know that they're trying to get to those places. The problem is that there's so much rain that's occurring right now that, in my opinion, you shouldn't even be out in the streets. You know, it's so significant, especially in and around Fayetteville. But I know folks they have no choice. So you just got to make sure, folks, that you are giving yourself plenty of extra time to get to where you're going, and also prepare to go to alternate routes. They have 15th block off near School Avenue and turned me around on the way to work. We actually heard that there's some water rescues that are going on near School Avenue and 15th, Stephen. So that's probably why that's occurring right now, because Fayetteville Fire said that they were going to respond to some of those water rescues. So definitely a significant situation right now in and around the Fayetteville area. Man, those rainfall totals have been significant this morning. We've been seeing copious amounts of rain all along Interstate 49, a little bit farther to the west towards Delaware County, towards Adair County as well. Been a very busy morning, Blaze. That's for sure.
It has, and it started as early as 5 a.m.
I know. And you know, at 5 a.m., I was talking about the precipitation. You know, this map that I'm showing right here that shows the total precipitation. You know, there was already a swath that was developing right over Fayetteville. And we talked about this yesterday, those little scattered showers that developed early this morning. That was really where that kind of flow of energy was going to be. So when I saw that, I knew that the heaviest swath was going to be over Fayetteville. I had kind of a feeling that was going to be the case. Now look at Benton County. Benton County's still getting some significant rainfall, you know, about 1 to 2 inches of rain in most spots. But that swath of heavy rain, that's where you get your significant flooding. And that's what you're seeing from Delaware County all the way down into Washington County. I have no doubts that will extend into Madison County as well. That's certainly going to happen near Japton and St. Paul. So you got to be prepared in those areas. You got to be prepared for the potential for significant flooding as well. I know those are flood-prone areas too, especially being in the higher terrain of Northwest Arkansas. So got to watch that very closely there. Look at this, though. I mean, this is just crazy right here. I mean, that's like over 9 inches of rain. Like, that is insane. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's big time right there, Blaze. 10 inches on average there, just off to the west of Delaware County. That's crazy. That is a lot of rain. And it shows you that there's more coming to Washington County too. I mean, we're not done in Northwest Arkansas right now. We've still got more rain to deal with early this morning in a large part of our weather coverage area. Let's go a little bit farther to the south towards Jay. Let's look at the average accumulation here, 7 inches of rain.
Wow, that's still a lot.
It's still a lot, right? And there's more to come in those spots too.
And it's all happened within a few hours.
Yep.
That's a huge problem.
Exactly. Let's look here. I'm going to look at this bullseye of heavy rain here. 4.3 inches on average near Fayetteville, but that's kind of ramped up in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was about 2 inches of rain earlier, and over like the last hour or so, we've seen 1 to 2 inch rainfall rates. So that's why that considerable flash flood warning is issued for those areas there. Let's see here. Let's zoom a little bit farther out. Again, River Valley, sporadic heavy rain here and there, scattered showers here and there. Nothing crazy, nothing major right now, but that is going to change very soon. By the way, Got to give a shout out background here, Jackie and Ashlyn. Great job this morning. with the coverage. Yes, yes, absolutely. We're live right now. You guys got any other updates or anything? Or-
No, we've been monitoring, any accidents that are happening. I can pull up my, right now. It
Yeah.
clears. Okay, let's see.
Looks like we got-
Another accident that cleared. No injuries to report at this time.
Mhm.
So we're good on that front. We still have power outages.
Still have power outages,
Yeah.
of course. If people are heading out, if you were heading out on a flight this morning, you may want to double check that to see if there are some delays, because we did see that as well. Just pretty much stressing what you guys have said. Make sure you stay off the roads. You don't absolutely have to be out there today, especially here in Fayetteville. The roads are pretty impassable in some places too.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially seeing the water rescues that are taking place. So
Yeah.
if that's not proof enough, I don't know what is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
No,
yeah.
appreciate those
Thanks,
updates right
guys.
there. Yes. And of course, our Mikala Rodriguez is also out in the field right now with Brett. She's going to get some video. And of course, if we have a flash flood emergency, we'll be back on air. The whole gang will be here. Mikala will be out there in the field responding to that.
Absolutely.
But
Thank you.
yeah, appreciate it,
We'll be
guys.
around.
Yes, thank you. Let's see here. I heard that lots of lights and water at Fayetteville High School. So is there water that's flooding Fayetteville High School right now? That would be bad if that was happening right now. Just let me know if you're getting any reports on that one. Daniel says, is it okay if I can go to Walmart or should I stay at home? I mean, I wouldn't be out in the roadways right now, Daniel, unless you absolutely have to be out in the roads. I would just kind of wait. I would just wait until most of the rain passes before heading out, doing grocery shopping and stuff like that. Again, you don't want to put yourself in a bad position this morning. The best way to avoid putting yourself in a bad position is to stay put where you are, unless you're in an area that's flooding. Then from there, you kind of take your precautions. But when it comes to being out, for grocery shopping or to do leisurely stuff and everything, I wouldn't do that right now. I would wait till later on in the day when things start to calm down a little bit. Okay, so the roads are experiencing a lot of water near Fayetteville High School. Okay, thank you for that. Thankfully, it's not the school itself. Otherwise, that would be a big problem right there. Rainfalls moving south, I believe, bringing the flooding threat down to the river valley. Absolutely. We've been talking a little bit about that this morning as well. River Valley is definitely going to see some rain very soon, Blaze.
Yeah, yeah. And so if you're in the River Valley, just keep that in mind. If you have plans today, you definitely want to bring that umbrella. But you also want to consider maybe not traveling, right, Josh?
That's what I'm saying. If you don't absolutely have to be out there, don't do it. I know a lot of folks got to get to work. I know a lot of folks got to get to school, but at the same time, you also got to be safe. You also got to look out for yourself. By the way, you just saw Jacob in the background, one of our great directors doing great work behind the scenes. So shout out to Jacob and Charles and Jam and all the people behind the scenes here that do such a great job for us. MOK and Stadium Drive dealing with some flooding right now. I actually heard from one of our viewers that MOK had 3 to 4 inches of moving water, which, I mean, that doesn't surprise me because MOK typically does flood quite a bit. Are things calm for tonight? Penny, I think tonight things will be calm in Northwest Arkansas. There might be some more heavy rain potential in the River Valley through about 8, 9 o'clock. I think most of it will be out by then. There will be some scattered showers throughout the overnight hours and the early tomorrow morning, but nothing crazy, nothing major. I just got to talk about this real quick, Blaze. Excuse me for a minute, but I just got to rant a little bit. This is ridiculous. This excessive rainfall forecast is ridiculous. How is there not an upgrade? I don't understand. Because, there was a time earlier this year, Blaze, where we had a level 4 out of 4 high risk in eastern portions of our weather coverage area. And we got about 3 inches of rain. We're getting well over 5, 6, 7 inches of rain in a short amount of time. There's not even a moderate that's outlined right now. That's why I don't like showing this most of the time. Because I just think this product still needs some work, in my opinion. This is different from the Storm Prediction Center product, by the way. I think the SPC has a pretty good handle, in terms of, marginal, slight, the wording and stuff like that. This to me can sometimes be confusing because you look at slight and you're thinking, okay, that's not too bad. It's level 2 out of 4.
Right.
When really in reality, it's more of a level 3 out of 4 moderate risk.
Yeah, I could see a moderate risk.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. But this also sometimes doesn't get updated at certain times. So that's another thing to consider. By the way, I did want to check out the SPC. Look at that. Slight risk
Ooh.
just south of the area. So this is the newest SPC outlook. Again, I don't really think the severe weather potential is high in the River Valley, especially in LaFleur and Scott County, but it does exist. I guarantee you the slight was introduced because of a low end tornado threat.
Probably.
No, it was not. Oh, wait, that's day 2. Hold on. There it is. So that does clip southern LaFleur County. They didn't have that this morning. I thought they would probably include that in a next update. Again, it's not a high-end threat for tornadoes. The instability is very weak. The lapse rates are not steep. So the hail potential is very low, obviously. But there is enough upper-level support where we could see maybe an extremely low tornado. Like I'm talking extremely low. Non-zero. That's what we're going to call it. Non-zero tornado threat. It's not zero, but it's very close to zero. So we'll watch that very closely. Wind potential's increased southwest of our area near Texarkana. There's going to be a little bit more instability in those locations. Matter of fact, let's look at this here. I do have a product that can actually look at the instability. Let's see what's going on right now in the River Valley. Is there a little bit more of a surge of instability? When did the rain move into NWA? So, Mike, that moved in. I was out and about like at 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
It was already starting to rain out there and stuff like that. It was kind of light, but that coverage kind of expanded throughout the morning hours. It really didn't start ramping up until around like 5. 5 is when it started ramping up everywhere, and then it's been just doing it nonstop since then over northwest Arkansas. So look at this, Blaze. The instability south.
Yeah.
But can you spot the warm front? Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Don't even need to have a weather background to spot this. There's our warm front right there. Now, what happens is that this warm front is going to try to lift to the north. Here's why I think the severe weather potential is low, Blaze, and this is what I was talking about with you. Why I didn't really think it was going to be all that high, even though the models were showing it. Kind of. There's a lot of cloud coverage right now,
and our atmosphere is pretty trash.
Exactly. And when you've got clouds, right? Let's say we've got we got this system right here, right? When you've got clouds in place, that is like a offensive lineman, right? It's like an offensive line. It's blocking that warm front. It's keeping it from moving to the north. It will move north some more, but it's going to be very slow. And so it's probably going to stop like right here. Mm-hmm. So that's why you've got that low end threat for severe weather in LaFleur and Scott County, because you could get a storm that develops in these areas. You could get some of that instability that surges to the north, and you could get a storm that rides along this boundary and creates a little bit of its own low level wind shear, which is lacking big time. The upper level support there's like no low level wind shear, but you can get that enhanced along the boundary. So we'll watch that very closely. I still think most spots will avoid severe weather potential today, especially in northwest Arkansas. I mean, it's non-existent in northwest Arkansas, as we mentioned before. But again, very heavy rain occurring in southern Washington County right now. I mean, look at all that activity that's going on there. Still, it looks like it's lightened up a little bit in and around Fayetteville, but there's another area of rain that's trying to develop. So we'll watch that very closely. And obviously, we're at the point now where we've had so much heavy rainfall that the only way for the flooding potential to go down is by the rain stopping.
Right.
Because even if it just continues to rain, now you're compounding the situation. So look at this. You got plenty more rain to go.
Yeah.
Right now.
And that's why we think the flooding threat is going to continue.
Yeah.
And that's why we think that the wrecks will continue.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, looks like we got an update on iDrive Arkansas.
Yeah,
Looks like they cleared
Another one.
One of those wrecks. So we're actually down to 2 wrecks now. Still got the one near mile marker 86.8 southbound off ramp, and then we've got this one still exit 73 in Springdale. They are clearing these accidents really fast though.
Can you look on iDrive? Go to some of the cameras and just make sure there's nothing showing up on there. Appreciate that. Okay, Kylie's asking about tornado potential. So Kylie, you might have just joined. The tornado potential is like non-existent for most spots. There is a extremely low chance for a tornado, maybe in like southwest LaFleur County, depending on where that warm front sets up. But even that might be stretching it. So it's extremely low, so minuscule that I wouldn't worry about anything unless you live in like McAllister maybe, or a little bit farther southwest. And even then, in those areas, you don't have to worry too much. But it's a very low threat, mostly to the southwest of our area. and most spots will avoid any strong storm potential. The wind threat is there for LaFleur and Scott County, so we'll watch that very closely, but nothing crazy, nothing major on that front. Now getting heavy rain north of Mountainburg, so that makes sense because now we're starting to see that system move a little bit farther to the south right now. So we're watching that very closely there. Thank you so much, James, for that report on that front. Let's go to live Doppler radar right now. Take a look at it. And you just mentioned Mountainburg. There it is, that big heavy rain band starting to move into Mountainburg. So if we're looking a little farther down the line, looking at areas that might be added to that flash flood warning, probably going to be in Crawford County very soon, portions of southern Washington County, Madison County, Logan County, Johnson County, Franklin County. Those areas will probably be added to future flash flood warnings. Here's what I'm going to do. Blaze, I want you to give us an update on the iDrive camera situation. I am going to make some phone calls real quick.
All right. So we're tracking. We're down to. the
Hold
camera-
on.
The camera's following.
This,
you.
follow me everywhere. There we go. There's the man of the hour right there. All right, I'll let you take over.
Okay, so we've got two accidents that we're watching. One in particular is mile marker 86.8. And if we go ahead and we'll take this full, this is a live shot of the accident, and you can see the police lights off in the distance. The rain is on the camera lens, so it makes it a little hard to see, but we're still tracking that accident. We've also got another accident that we've been tracking. Now, we're down to 2 accidents. We've seen a lot of accidents this morning, and so we've got this one. It's just to the west of Little Flock, and then we've got another accident that we've been tracking for a while, exit 73 near Springdale. That's going to be southbound right shoulder on ramp. So 2 accidents right now. But with this heavy rain moving into the river valley with the interstate, I would not be surprised. We're going to be watching this very closely. There is several accidents to our southeast, but it's out of our coverage area. But just looking at the state in general, there is an accident over towards Morrilton. So if you have to travel towards Morrilton today, and then maybe 65 towards Mayflower, and then, sorry, that's Interstate 40. Continuing down towards, southeast Arkansas, there's more wrecks, but 2 for our coverage area right now. So we're continuing to watch this, continuing to see heavy rain moving through the area. Like I said, the good news is we were tracking 4 wrecks, but we're down to 2. So that is good news. We're seeing those wrecks getting cleared pretty quick. We've had a lot of wrecks this morning, though, because there's a lot of water on the roadways. So it looks like this live shot, the interstate, traffic's flowing pretty well right now. Still dealing with that accident, though. We're continuing to watch this very closely. If we go ahead and we'll go to Weather One Full, you can see there's very heavy rain moving through the area towards Winslow, over towards St. Paul, down towards Ozone. Clarksville's fixing to get into the heavy rain action. Ozark, Alma, you may be seeing a break right now, but that's going to change. Sallisaw, you may be seeing a break, but that's going to change as well. Tahlequah, heavy rain. We're continuing to track this. Now, no severe weather expected, at least for our area. River Valley towards the south, there is that isolated severe risk later this evening for areas south of our coverage area. But just looking at this, heavy rain continues to fall. We are seeing a break in the heavy rain for Fayetteville, so that's good news, but there's more back building. So I think there's going to be more heavy rain moving towards the Fayetteville area, over towards Springdale. So really, you may be seeing a break towards Springdale, Fayetteville, Huntsville. Those areas may be seeing the break, but I wouldn't be surprised if more heavy rain moves in through the area. So just keep that in mind. If you have any travel plans today and you're going to be on the interstate, you're going to be on those roads, you want to make sure that you are staying prepared, staying alert with the flash flood warnings, because we're seeing a lot of those across the area. So, but like I said, from a traffic standpoint, traffic's flowing pretty well with these 2 accidents, but they're still showing up at iDrive Arkansas. We can still see them from our traffic cameras. And like I said, there's more traffic accidents to our southeast. So if you are traveling to the southeast, just keep that in mind. But I would not be surprised if we see, unfortunately, some more accidents, especially closer to that Interstate 40 and the River Valley, because I think heavy rain is moving towards that area. So this is what we got right now. We're continuing to watch this on our live Doppler radar. This is looking from the Fort Smith radar site. And again, heavy rain continues to fall towards Winslow, over towards St. Paul, Mountainburg, Ozark, Clarksville. If we look a little bit further to the east, if there's anyone watching us from the east, I know the chuck wagon races are going on in Clinton. I saw a comment about that. Heavy rain is headed your direction towards Clinton. Morrilton's getting heavy rain right now. There is a break between Clarksville and Morrilton, but there's more heavy rain back building. So if you know anybody in those areas, just let them know that heavy rain continues. That's pretty much the big story today is the heavy rain, the flash flooding threat. And so we're continuing to see this. We continue to see flash flood warnings. They're still in effect. The good news is it does look like right now for Fayetteville, most of the heavy rain is to the south. And so that's an area that has been seeing significant flooding. So kind of getting a little bit of a break from this flooding threat. However, more heavy rain continues to backbuild behind that. And so that's why we continue to watch and cannot discount the fact that more heavy rain is expected. So like I said, that's why if you have plans today, you just might want to be prepared that you could run into some accidents, especially traveling on the interstate. So if we give you an update, we're still dealing with one accident now. We have a new update. The accident that we were previously tracking to the north, right around the Rogers area, we're still dealing with it. That's going to be mile marker 86.8. That accident near Bentonville is still ongoing. We've got a live shot of that, and that accident continues to stay present. That's actually the only accident that we have now. So the interstate is beginning to clear out. That's because we're seeing that break in rain, which is great news. However, I think more is going to be heading towards that direction. So just because you're seeing a little bit of a drop in precipitation does not mean that the rain chances are on the decrease, because I think there's more back building and I think more heavy rain is expected through the area. So again, recap on radar, Stillwell over towards Winslow, St. Paul down to Ozone, Clarksville, Ozark. They're dealing with that heavy rain right now. Over towards Limestone, Jasper, you're getting heavy rain. Harrison's getting a lot right now. Eureka Springs over towards Bentonville, but we are seeing a decrease in the rain, at least right now, for Springdale, down towards Fayetteville, and then West Fork. But like I said, just to the south of that, towards Winslow and Mountainburg, seeing a lot of heavy rain, and that heavy rain is going to continue. So we're continuing to track this. Like I said, the good news from a traffic standpoint, we're only down to one accident right now. So that is great news. We had multiple accidents this morning. It has been an active day in terms of vehicle accidents, but I'm glad to announce that we only have one accident right now. I know there's still some power outages. I'm going to give you a power outage map here. We're going to take a look at Arkansas. I've got it loading up right now. Across the whole state of Arkansas, we got about 1,800 people out of power, but I'm going to get you a better reading here. It's just taking just a second to load. But I want to kind of break this down because we were dealing with some power outages in Benton and Washington County. So it's just taking it a minute. I think a lot of people are on this website right now. So Washington County still reporting 443 people out of power. Franklin County, we're seeing a jump with power outages with 360 people out of power. Madison County, 48. And then moving towards the east, maybe towards Van Buren County, for anyone that's at the chuck wagon races, Clinton area, you're dealing with some power outages as well. So again, we're continuing to track this. We're going to continue to follow this. We've been tracking this, and we will continue to watch these storms very closely. Heavy rain again, right around the Winslow, down towards Mountainburg, St. Paul, over towards Ozone, and then towards Ozark and Clarksville. And again, if you missed my announcement, we're down to one accident right now, one accident across the interstate, which is great news. That is for our coverage area. Now, as you go Interstate 40, you go to the east, there's multiple accidents to our southeast. But for our coverage area, we only have one accident to report on the interstate. So that's great news. But just because, we're only dealing with one accident doesn't mean you should decide to travel. If you don't have to travel, we would recommend you not do that because there is water on these roadways. Back to our power outage map. So Madison County reporting 48 people out of power. Washington County, 443. 360 out in Franklin. And then Newton County not reporting anything. Pope is reporting 20. Johnson's reporting 5. Like I said, Franklin, 360. I think Franklin's kind of leading the power outages right now. with that 360. So these power outages, they're going to continue. Unfortunately, there's a lot of heavy rain. There's also lightning in the distance. So some of these could be based upon lightning strikes in the area that's knocked out power, because it's been pretty electrified out there. There's been a lot of lightning. We could hear it here at the weather center. And so we're just continuing to track this heavy rain. We were dealing with a pretty significant situation. We continue to see this, but it's moving to the south towards the river valley. So, if you're in Northwest Arkansas, like Fayetteville, Springdale, you're seeing a drop in the precipitation right now. However, I think more heavy rain is expected over the next, I would say, a couple hours. So I know it's early this morning. I know a lot of people, going to school. Hopefully by now you're at school. But if you have to travel, just be mindful that there is water on the roadways. And we've been tracking this for the last several hours, continue to track this. Again, Mountainburg, Winslow, over towards St. Paul, Ozone, Clarksville, Ozark, dealing with that heavy rain right now. And again, so we're dealing with heavy rain. We've got one accident to report on the interstate, and we got power outages. So there's a lot happening right now in the weather world right now. So let's go back to iDrive Arkansas. I want to give you an update here. Let's see. Still dealing with this one accident. This accident is going to be mile marker 86.8, Bentonville, nearest city. And the travel direction is going to be southbound. It's going to be on the off ramp. So still dealing with this accident right now. It's going to be Interstate 49. That appears to be the only accident that we're tracking now. Again, just to reiterate and restate, if you are going to the southeast, there is more accidents to our southeast, but it's not in our coverage area. So if you are traveling on Interstate 40 and you're going to be traveling towards Morrilton, keep in mind there's a bad accident towards Morrilton that we're seeing on iDrive Arkansas. But for our coverage area, Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, where we cover, there's only one accident to report right now. So that's great news, because earlier we were tracking 4. At one point, I think we had basically 5, but they are clearing these accidents out really fast. They're doing a great job. So let's continue to track this heavy rain. Like I said, you may be seeing a break in some of this heavy rain around Fayetteville, but West Fork, you may be seeing kind of a drop in precipitation, but keep in mind St. Paul, Winslow, Mountainburg, Ozone, Clarksville, Ozark, you're dealing with that heavy rain, and that heavy rain is going to continue. So if you know anybody in these areas, you just might give them a heads up. If they've got plans, you want to make sure you are bringing that umbrella. We're looking at multiple live shots here from iDrive Arkansas. And if we go back to, let's go to Mega Doppler here and take a look a little bit different from a different look. Give me 1 second as we switch to Mega Doppler. Let's pull this up. And you can see, let me go full with this. So Mega Doppler showing that heavy rain, and it really does a good job showing you that you can see where the break in all that heavy rain is. You can see that we're seeing a drop near the Fayetteville area over towards Springdale, but you can see that those yellow, orange, red colors, a little bit brighter, especially as you drop to the south of Fayetteville. So that would include Winslow, Mountainburg. I know we got somebody on here that was reporting, I know there was somebody that was reporting Mountainburg, heavy rain, over towards Stillwell, Tenkiller, over towards Siloam Springs. I think Siloam Springs, you're fixing to get back into more heavy rain. If you did see a decrease, I think it's fixing to increase a little bit more. Elkins, you're starting to see a drop in rain right now. That's going to change. Huntsville, over towards, we move a little bit east over towards Osage, Clifty, Weathers, Ponca, Red Star, St. Paul. I think St. Paul, you may start to see a small decrease right there. So, but again, heavy rain moving through the area. Winslow, Mountainburg, Natural Dam, those areas experiencing that heavy rain. And zooming out a little bit further, taking a look more towards the River Valley and centered towards the River Valley, tracking not a strong thunderstorm. I don't think there's a special weather statement on it, but Greenwood, we're watching for heavy rain. Paris, you're getting in on that heavy rain as well. Ozark over towards Clarksville. And then again, repeating myself, but Winslow to St. Paul, still dealing with that heavy rain. Looking back at iDrive Arkansas, still only seeing one accident right now. That's great news. I like to see that. I hope that continues to stay the same. So one accident, that's to the north of Bentonville on the interstate. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we've got our power outages. So if you are seeing this break in heavy rain, don't don't let it fool you. Don't let, you may think, oh, well, the rain's over. It's not. There's more rain coming. We're seeing this back building. We call this training. Storms basically continue to build and continue to be over the same area. These are moving though. So that's good news. And they're moving quite quickly, but just more rain continues to build. We need the rain though. We got a lot of burn bans, got a lot of things. And so, we were starting to deal with drought and we need the rain. I just wish it wouldn't have happened all at once. This is a lot of rain to happen all at once. And that's where you get your problems, where you get your significant flooding because all that rain falls at one time. So let's do a check on power outages here. I'll give you an update. Still Franklin County, 360 people out of power. Madison County, there's going to be 48 people. Washington County, 443 people now. And Benton County, 91. So that is your power outages right now. I'm looking at updates and things with that. But yeah, we're just continuing to track this. I'm going to refresh the page just to make sure that that's the latest update from our power outage. But the big story right now is going to be the heavy rain that does continue. Now, some of these storms do have lightning, especially closer to the river valley. So if you are outside or anything like that, you want to be mindful that you might be dealing with some thunderstorms. This is very heavy rain. And like I said, we need the rain. It's just all hitting us all at once. We got one that's, so yeah, Washington, 260 people out of power. Franklin has updated now. We went from 360 people now down to 55, so that's good news. Probably makes me think that something got tripped potentially from the lightning, and they reset the breaker at the main substation. So Madison still reporting 48. Like I said, Franklin 55, Johnson's 5, Newton 0, Pope is 19, Crawford's 33, and Sebastian is 1. Washington is 260, and Benton is 11. So that's your current power outages across the state right now. Continuing, if you're just joining us, we're tracking, and we've been dealing with a lot of flash flooding this morning, and that continues. Heavy rain is starting to shift from northwest Arkansas down towards the river valley. So anyone that's in the river valley, keep this in mind. And please make sure that if you're traveling on the interstate, that you're taking it nice and easy, very slow. We've seen a lot of wrecks this morning. We're down to one wreck. Let me look at that, make sure that we're just down to one wreck here. Yep, still down to one wreck. That's going to be accident mile marker 86.8 and Bentonville. So looks like we've got a new flash flood warning that has been issued. Let me get that real fast, and I'll show you that in the area that we're seeing right now. Let me go Mega Doppler full real quick on this, and I'll pull this up where you guys can see the flash flood warning because I think this is very important. This continues to be the story. Continues to see these flash flood warnings expanding, and they definitely impact us. Give me just 1 second as I load this up here for you guys. So let's see this newest one here. All right, so this is a new one. If we go, I'm going to go weather one full with the camera. So here's a new flash flood warning. This is going to be in effect until Thursday at 10:30 a.m. This includes the counties of Johnson, Logan, Newton, and Pope. Cities included is Clarksville, Dardanelle, Russellville, and I believe that's Spardra. So those areas are impacted in this new flash flood warning that is in effect. That is going to be east of the current flash flood warning. This is kind of a look at all the alerts we've got right now. So if I zoom out a little bit further here, you can see that we've got that flash flood warning that is in effect. We've got a flood advisory that's in effect for several of our counties. And then that flash flood warning is going to be for Benton and Washington County, specifically the Farmington, Fayetteville, Prairie Grove, and Springdale area. Those are cities that is impacted with this with these flash flood warnings. So that's pretty much the big story. You've got thunderstorms embedded with this. There's a lot of lightning. So, if you're outside, make sure you go inside. But for the most part, yeah, I think the big story right now is mainly just the flooding threat. And like I said, we've got a new accident. We do have a new accident. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Mega Doppler real quick. And let me give you this accident report. Just came in. So, and I'm going to see if we got a camera on this. This is going to be a new accident. This is going to be mile marker 42.6. Nearest city is going to be, it's just going to be 7.6 miles south of West Fork. It's northbound. It's going to be the left lane impacted. I'm going to see if we've got a camera on this and we can take a look at this shot a little bit closer. I don't know that we're going to have a camera on this. Let's see. There's one. It's right around the tunnel. Let's see. I'm trying to load this up, guys. I don't know that we're going to have a camera of this accident right now. I think they're dealing with major heavy rain, and I think it's knocked out. I think it's knocked out the service of these two cameras, because these two cameras, the closest cameras, are not working right now. But if you know anybody that's traveling, again, want to restate, there is a new accident to report. It's going to be mile marker 42.6. Nearest city is going to be 7.6 miles south of West Fork. It's going to be northbound. The left lane is going to be impacted. So anyone in these areas that is traveling, like I said, if you don't have to travel, I do not recommend you travel, because we are continuing to deal with flash flooding. So we're going to go weather one full real quick, and we're just continuing to track this. Yeah, so we're continuing to watch this. Something I do want to bring attention to, and I've talked about this a minute, and I'm going to bring this back, is we do have the chuck wagon races, and I know there's a lot of people that's in the Clinton area, and I know Clinton's not in our coverage area, but I know there's a lot of people probably in Northwest Arkansas that's there. This heavy rain is going to continue to move through the area. So we're continuing to track this. So like I said, we're down to two. We've got two accidents right now. We're continuing to watch this. Matter of fact, let's see. Nope, that one to the north is still going. So Josh, we still have two accidents. Actually, this is a brand new one that just came up. So
Yeah, now they're starting to get a little farther south.
yeah.
Because all that rain is shifting off to the south now. So here's the deal. I got done talking with Dan, kind of talking about the current situation and stuff like that. I think we'll probably wrap this up within the next 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
If we have a flash flood emergency or something like that, we'll be back on covering that situation. But at this point, if we go back here to live radar, so I'm going to pull up live radar here in just a minute. We're going to go back to live radar here, and we're going to take kind of another look at all the flash flood warnings that are in effect. I'm sure you probably talked about the new one.
Yeah.
That's been issued. But there's a lot of flash flood warnings.
There
right?
is,
I
yeah.
mean, they're everywhere right now. It's like lighting up like a Christmas tree at this time. So here's the deal. I think if you live in northern Benton County, there's still going to be rain that's going to be falling throughout the rest of the morning hours. It won't be nearly as heavy as what we're seeing in Washington County and stuff like that. I think Washington County, the heaviest rain is now south, which is great. But I think this flash flood warning is going to continue all the way through 10:30.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
there's more to the west.
More to the west. And when you get to this point, we talked about this just a few moments ago. When you get to the point where you've already had like really heavy rain, if it keeps raining, the flooding is going to continue.
Right.
Like even though the rain is starting to drop off a little bit. Now, River Valley.
It's I think the flooding's really fixing to ramp up there.
River Valley's got some problems that they're going to have to deal with in just a few moments along and south of Interstate 40. So if you live in Fort Smith, Greenwood, Boonville, Poto, Scott County, LaFleur County, Tahlequah, shout out Tahlequah, shout out Kendra
Yeah.
Carroll who lives out there. That's one of my best friends. Get ready. It's going to be coming down.
Yep.
It's going to be coming down in droves very soon. Here's that flash flood warning, Blaze, that you probably talked about. 10:30 a.m. in
Yep.
Johnson, Logan County, Newton County also included in that. It's a non-considerable warning. There's the considerable flash flood warning in effect for Fayetteville. Have you shown the rainfall totals
I have
on
not.
the
no.
last? Let's look at this. Oh my goodness! It's just look at that swath of
Wow.
rain. And I mean, we called this too. We said that what was going to come next, right around Madison County,
Yep.
southeast of there, that was where the next flash flood warning was going to be, and boom, it's right there. Makes sense. That's where that big swath of rain is going to be. It's crazy how that kind of sets up. And, the models, and I'm going to give a shout out to the models because here's the deal. I give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
The models consistently showed a swath of really heavy rain moving through our area. Now, it wasn't exactly right, but we don't expect the models to be exactly right on that
Right.
heaviest swath. It's kind of like forecasting snow, but it did a great job.
Right.
It did a great job. It was very consistent. It showed like a swath of like 4 to 7 inch amounts of what's going on, 4 to 7 inches.
Yeah.
So great job. Shout out to the models. I give credit where credit. See, I can give credit to the models. I can give credit when they deserve it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So maybe
I would say, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they did a good job.
yeah, we can all turn over a new leaf.
Yeah.
We can all change. We can all get
Maybe this is going to be the start of something great.
exactly.
Maybe when it comes to severe weather, it's going to be now.
We hope, and especially winter weather. Oh my goodness.
Because there
Hey.
has been some pretty bad models.
I'll tell you this. Hey, do you like winter weather,
Me?
Blaze?
Oh, I love winter weather. That's where it's at.
Oh man, to be in your shoes again. Dan asked me that same question on the live stream. He said, "Do you like winter weather, Josh?" And I said, "Man, I love winter weather. Winter weather's awesome." He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna love it much longer. When you're in this position, it's not the best. It's not the best. First of all, you got to be here when it's occurring. You got to
That's
drive
true,
to that,
yeah.
drive to that junction. So you don't actually get to enjoy it.
Right.
Number two, oh my goodness, is it a pain to forecast? And obviously, that opens up a lot of scrutiny. There. You-
I see where you're going with that.
yeah. Look, man, a lot of people are emotionally attached to frozen dendrites. So,
Bread and milk time.
bread,
Right?
bread and milk time. Let's get that index out right now, man. Let's get that index.
Snow
out.
index.
Exactly. The panic index, the panicometer from Ryan Vaughn right there. Shout out Ryan Vaughn out in Northeast Arkansas. All right. So again, significant rainfall right now. Blaze, can you go to iDrive real quick
Yep.
over there? Just make sure our accident situation is looking good. Road conditions are so hard to determine, Amanda. Like that's what I'm saying too. It's like I would not be on the roadways right now unless you absolutely have to. Right? Just treat it like a winter weather situation. Unless you absolutely have to be out there and just check those cameras, Blaze. Check some of those cameras, make sure. Unless you absolutely have to be out there, unless you're like heading to work, you got something important going on, stay off the roadways. Just don't be on the roadways right now. No need to do that. Just wait until conditions improve. If you need to go grocery shopping, if you need to go for a run, bike ride. I mean, I don't know why you want to go on a run or bike ride right now, but
Wow.
I would just give it some time.
Let's-
Do you have
can
that?
you go? Yeah. Look at this. That is very heavy rain. That's by the tunnel. And I mean visibility.
Visibility is going to be low. Interstate 49, I was telling some buddies this because they're thinking about coming up from the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas.
Ooh, I don't-
I told them, oh, wait, hold on. I told them, I said, guys, like, that is like a death trap.
Yeah.
You know,
no, I would
it
not.
really is like, you know, so personal experience, we'll share a personal experience. I've shared this before with some of the viewers. But I've hydroplaned and totaled my vehicle on this stretch of the interstate.
Oh my.
And yeah, and I I almost lost my life that day because, you know, I was driving too fast. And this area right here, you know, when you're in the higher terrain areas of Boston Mountains, the visibility gets really low because of that condensation that's happening. So you get the fog and mist that develops like instantly on the surface. And then you also get some of the wind tunnels as well. You know, one of the things that contributed to my accident was the really strong winds that were occurring.
Ooh.
I was getting battered by like 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was bad accident. So I wouldn't be on this particular stretch of the interstate right now
No.
while this is going on. And I also, if you are going to be driving out and about, go about 20 miles per hour below the speed limit. I know
Yeah.
that sounds
I can
dramatic.
tell just looking at the way the cars are traveling.
Yeah.
They are driving slower. So that's good news.
Yes.
But they still, I mean, there's still some that look like they're
Going a little too
moving pretty
fast.
good. Yeah.
20 miles per hour below the speed limit. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's
It'll save a life.
the only way you can
I
stay safe.
mean,
It's
right.
it is literally scientifically proven that if you go that much less than the speed limit,
Mhm.
like let's say it's 70 and you go 50 or lower, you will avoid hydroplaning. The only way hydroplaning can occur is if you're going too fast for the conditions. What I mean by too fast for the conditions, I mean don't go 70.
Right.
Don't go the speed limit.
Yeah.
Don't
I
go
mean,
60.
if you're going 70 and heavy rain,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
that's you're just asking for
Exactly. Don't
problems.
go 60. Like,
Right.
just go 50 or less, and you will avoid hydroplaning. It's almost impossible to hydroplane.
And some people, you know, I've heard people say, well, you know, it's just rain.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay, but think about the water that's on the roadways. You might have, you know, windshield wipers that can wipe that rain off, and the visibility, you know, might be fair. But the problem is, if you hit a patch of water on that road
Mhm.
at that speed, I mean, it's just not going to be good.
You're done.
So
You're
yeah,
done. Exactly. And one other thing too, when it comes to rain can now we're not dealing with the rain like this, but I hear all the time, oh, it's just light rain on the roads and stuff like that. When you have light rain especially if it hasn't rained for a while. What happens is all that oil and all those fluids that are on the roadways mixes in with the rain. And what does that cause?
It becomes slick.
Very slick conditions. Very, very slick conditions. And that is a problem in this area, especially. So just make sure you're taking it easy, folks. If you have to be out and about, my goodness, look at this. We're completely obstructed by fog now. That just happened. Just moved in.
Man.
That's crazy. Just avoid travel right now unless you absolutely have to be out there. Absolutely have to.
Yeah, I'm concerned that the River Valley, and
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. I hate to say this, but I would not be surprised if we see an increase in wrecks,
Yeah, absolutely.
especially
I
on
agree.
the interstate here in the next, I'd say, 30 minutes or so.
I agree 100%. All right. We're going to wrap this up very soon. Let's do one last little radar tour here. And then if we see more significant flooding blaze, we'll come back on. We'll let you know about the latest details. But after talking with Dan, we decided kind of within the next few minutes we'll wrap it up. But let's take one last radar tour here. Let's go through all the flash flood warnings. So here's the first one that was issued. This is the flash flood warning that includes Delaware County, Northern Adair County, Western Benton County. Here's the good news about this particular flash flood warning. Number one, it expires in less than an hour. Number two, the rain is much lighter in these areas now. So the heaviest rain is south of Jay, Gulkard, those areas right now. That's the great news there. But still, make sure you're taking it easy along Highway 59, Highway 412. You've been dealing with very significant rainfall in those locations. A little bit farther to the south, we've got this. We're going to start with the normal flash flood warning. That goes until 10:15 a.m. and includes southern Benton County, like far southern Benton County along Highway 412 near the Illinois River east of Siloam Springs. This does include the Springdale area, West Fork, Prairie Grove, also included in that flash flood warning. That goes until 10:15 a.m. Within that flash flood warning, there is a considerable flash flood warning, that blue outline. That includes downtown Fayetteville, Farmington, Greenland, southern parts of Johnson, Interstate 49, Baldwin, Razorback Stadium, the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville High School, still under a considerable flash flood warning. We have gotten reports earlier this morning that there was water rescues being done by Fayetteville Fire. Hopefully everybody's okay. I haven't heard any other updates on that front. The good news, again, with this flash flood warning, though, very similar to what we were just talking about, Blaze, it looks like the heaviest rain is now moving out of Fayetteville.
Yes.
So that's fantastic news. Flash flood warning also remains in effect for Johnson, Logan, Newton County in our coverage area. That includes Clarksville, Jasper, Limestone, Ozone, those areas right now under that flash flood warning. And then, of course, we want to give a shout out to Marshall because that's Blaze Thomas country right there.
Yeah, we're dealing with some rain there. Really, a big focus that I've been kind of watching is the Clinton area because the chuck wagon races are, this week.
Going on. Look
And
at
so
that heavy rain there.
yeah, there's a lot of people at. Matter of fact, there's probably at least 20,000 extra people in Clinton this week than normal. So
Yeah.
they're dealing with very heavy rain, and I'm sure according to Mega Doppler, we're not seeing much lightning in the area, so that's good news. But I've got a feeling, Josh, these storms in River Valley move east, we're gonna have some lightning to deal with
Yeah, absolutely.
towards chuck wagon races.
Yep, got it. That'll delay those for sure. Don't want to be outside with some of these lightning strikes because
No.
I've been hearing some big booms out there. So there's a lot of positively charged
Mhm.
bolts that probably have some really high amperage. So we'll watch that very closely. One more update for the River Valley too. That's about to pour in Fort Smith. Get ready. I know Fort Smith's been avoiding it all morning long. You're probably like, okay, you guys are overhyping it, right? What's going on? Nothing's going on in Fort Smith. Well, here it comes, and it's going to be here for most of the morning into the afternoon hours. So
Mhm.
just be ready. In Fort Smith, Alma, you're already dealing with heavy rain. Ozark, Mountainburg, Winslow, Greenwood, you just got another storm. We got more storms developing right now. I do want to take, just curious, where's that warm front, right? Just want to see for our severe weather risk, the low end severe weather risk. And look at that, it's not even moving.
Nope.
And if you just joined in, basically what we're talking about here is you see this instability bulge. This is where the warm front's currently located, and that warm front has been there over the last 3 hours.
Yeah,
It's not
moving.
going anywhere. It's not moving anywhere. I would say the severe weather risk is very low, if not non-existent in most spots. So that's the good news. We don't have to deal with that. One more look at the rainfall totals, please. Okay. Yes, well, we'll do that, Don. Let's look at our precipitation totals. So we're going to go back to this. And I mean, my goodness gracious, that's crazy. I mean, look at the rainfall totals here. I'm just curious. How much rain has fallen east Delaware County or west of Delaware County? 10.1 inches. That is unbelievable.
I wonder if they're dealing with any water rescues.
Oh, probably, no doubt about it. Along Highway 69.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's look at the J area, Delaware County. 7.5 to 8 inches of rain in those areas there. Let's see here. Let's go a little bit farther to the west. Now, Bella Vista, Pea Ridge, Bentonville, most spots in Benton County have received about, on average, about 1 to 2 inches. That's kind of what I expected. Most spots are getting about 1 to 3 inches. It's this swath of heavy rain that's causing all the problems right now. You can see that swath moving right through Washington County. Again, there's that considerable flash flood warning. Within that, we've seen about 4 to 5 inches of rain over the last few hours. It's been happening in a short amount of time. So we've seen that in those areas there. Let's go towards Elkins. Let's go over here towards Newton County. Let's see what's been going on here in these areas. We've received about 2 to 4 inches of rain. So there you go. I mean, the forecast has been fantastic. Forecast has been fantastic from the models, and I think we've done a good job forecasting this. Right now, River Valley not dealing with as much rain, but that will change very soon.
I got an update on the traffic situation. We actually are down to only 1 accident now. So that
Nice.
is really good news. It's still going to be mile marker 42.6, 7.6 miles south of West Fork.
There's no camera on that, I'm presuming.
Last check, there's
Looks like traffic is really slow, though. Really
Well,
slow.
it's that tunnel camera we had.
Yeah.
The visibility.
But
was-
yeah, but I want you to pull this up. So go
Okay.
back over here to iDrive, right, and close out the camera and just show the incident.
Okay.
Just show us that incident. And zoom in on that. Zoom in on that. So look at the road though. So zoom out a little bit more, so we can see the road. Look at that dark shaded outline. That is stopped. The traffic is stopped in the northbound lane right now. So so if you are somebody who commutes from River Valley up to Northwest Arkansas, you're going to be stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get past the tunnel, you are going to be stopped south of West Fork because it looks like traffic's at a standstill right now there. Of course, we don't have a camera. We can't see what exactly is going on, but just north of the tunnel, the traffic is stopped because of an accident. Hopefully everybody's okay. But obviously that's significant enough to stop the traffic. So
and the visibility is terrible
yes,
right now. I mean, it's just, you can't see anything from the cameras.
exactly. And matter of fact, real quick, do I have visibility pulled up on my stuff? I do. Let's see if that's showing up. Okay. So
Yeah.
there you go. I mean, visibility is reduced 3 miles from Bentonville to Fayetteville. Still perfect visibility in Fort Smith, but that's not going to last much longer. So again, you might run into those areas where the the visibility is a little bit lower, especially between Fort Smith and Fayetteville, where that fog's going to start ramping up. Chip and Bentley are ready for the Razorback football game. Speaking of which, I got to finish my Razorback football graphic, Blake. So I'm going to get that done right after this. Thank you so much, Don. Very kind words right there. And Blaze, you have done fantastic this morning. If you guys didn't know, this is Blaze's first time doing kind of severe weather coverage,
yeah,
and
this is
stuff
the
like that. What'd you think? What'd you think?
It was interesting.
A lot goes on,
yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah, it
And-
was. I mean, I don't want to say, like, you never. It's when I say this, don't take it the wrong way. But when you get in these situations, your adrenaline starts pumping. There's a lot that happens, and so it just becomes a kind of a fun activity per se. you know?
Yeah,
It's not fun dealing with severe weather, but
yeah.
tracking it for you guys and keeping people safe. That's that's the fun part of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here's the deal. Everybody's got some God-given abilities and stuff like that. And our God-given abilities here at KNWA and Fox 24 is to give the weather and keep people safe. That's why we're here. That's why I pursued this field, because I really care about communities that I serve and care about this area, especially living up here pretty much my whole life. So it's just very important that everybody stays safe and is informed on what's going on. And so I think you did a great job today,
Thank
man.
you. You did great as well.
Exactly. And we'll be back on here if there's severe weather or significant flooding going on. But at this point, we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up. It looks like most of the heavy rain's out of Northwest Arkansas at this point. It is going to be transitioning to the River Valley, so we'll be watching that for you behind the scenes. But for right now, everybody, stay safe. Have a terrific rest of your Thursday. God bless. And we'll see you bright and early tomorrow for maybe a more lighthearted show on KNWA Today at 5 and 6 and Fox 24 News at 7. Anything else to add, Blaze?
Nope.
Woo, Pitsui. Have a good one, everybody.